As the sun begins to set in Thackerville, Oklahoma, the bright lights setting the stage for the 41st playing of the World Long Drive Championship. A look back at the grid, an enthusiastic crowd on hand here at the Windstar World Casino and Resort. Will Hogue is the #1 seed. 30 years of age, a firefighter from Tennessee. He finished 3rd last year. Is he the man to beat here in 2016? Tim Burke might have other ideas. He's the defending champion and a 2-time champion. Tim Burke can go deep in winning in each of his 2 championships. What's at stake? A lot of prize money, getting to the Elite 8, and the World Long Drive Championship belt.
Distance. It's a simple word. But to them, it means everything. Every yard counts. It's what they do. Better than anyone else. Professionals and amateurs alike, they have superhuman abilities. And this is a one-of-a-kind opportunity to put their skills and their nerves to the ultimate test. Where the longest drivers meet the loudest fans. As champions from around the globe compete for the world title, a coveted championship belt, and the utmost bragging rights. Here where hearts are pumping, and so is the adrenaline. A golf spectacle unlike any other. The World Long Drive Championship.
And we welcome you to the 2016 World Long Drive Championship here at the Windstar World Casino and Resort in Thackerville, Oklahoma. An enthusiastic crowd on hand as we have our Sweet 16 ready to take center stage here this evening. Well, again, everyone, so glad you can join us. I'm Bob Papa with 2-time World Long Drive champion Art Eslinger and Michael Breed of the Golf Fix. How did we get here? This is the playoffs and the Super Bowl all wrapped into one. 80 players advanced here to Thackerville, Oklahoma. Competition began throughout the course of the weekend. It's the 41st edition of the World Long Drive Championship. Second year, the finals being hosted at the Windstar World Casino and Resort. Players compete in match play format throughout the finals. Michael, these guys hit it far. How do they do it?
Well, I think one of the things is you got to be 6'5". You certainly have to have a lot of determination. But ultimately, it's going to boil down to 2 things. It's going to be club head speed, and it's going to be ball speed. And we want to give you a little idea as to what you're going to see. Over here, this would be an average number of what an amateur would play at. 90 miles an hour of club head speed. Ball speed would be right around 135 miles an hour. Now, on the PGA Tour, what you're going to see is you're going to see a club head speed of about 112 with a ball speed of 167. Out here in the World Long Drive, you're going to see this, 142 miles an hour average club head speed, ball speed up in the 213s. These players will have a faster club head speed than you will have ball speed.
And that's one of the reasons why they're able to hit it so long. Now, Art, you're a 2-time champion. We know about the ball speed, the club head speed, the distance, but there is an art to the competition as well, isn't there?
Immense pressure. Nerves will play a part. You'll see a lot of foul balls. That will happen. One set tonight is the big pressure. 8 golf balls. Win, you see tomorrow night. Lose, you go home, and it's a long trip home.
And you got to keep that ball on the grid.
Absolutely.
And get it deep and size up your competition. There's a lot of tension out there as well. Jerry Foltz is the 4th member of our broadcast team, and he's on the range as the players are going through their preparation. And Jerry, a lot of intensity on that range.
There is, and as soon as the crowd started making noise right when we came on the air, the faces changed on this range. Remember, these are 16 guys who compete against each other and do outings all year long. They're really good friends. An hour ago it was pretty loose, but it has gotten a lot more serious. Some of the guys go through a normal warm-up routine with irons until they get to the drivers, and then there's other guys like Maurice Allen here behind me in the pink hat who has hit ball after ball after ball, more balls than anybody out here, expends a lot of energy doing it and just pounding the driver. You know, when you go to a tour event and you see Dustin Johnson hit or Rory McIlroy, the other players will tell you it just makes a different sound. Well, guys, there's no sound like the driving range at a World Long Drive Championship.
And there's that psychological component. Did I leave it on the range? Did I save enough for when I get out and have to perform? The #1 seed, Will Hogue, is in the first match. He'll take on Paul Howell. We'll get it underway here at the World Long Drive Championship. Take a look at the weather here in Vacaville, Oklahoma. 74 degrees. The wind at 2 miles per hour coming in from the left of the players. Humidity at 34%. So ideal conditions as we take a look at the grid and take a look at the dimensions of the grid. What the players need to focus in on. All right, it's 450 yards long. And that's what the players have to work with. But the key here, Art, is keeping it in the grid in order for your shot to count 50 yards wide.
Not a big fairway out there, really, for these guys.
Here are the rules for the World Long Drive Championship. 3 minutes go on the clock. There are 8 balls. Match play format. Single elimination. The ball must land and stay in bounds in order for it to count. Player hits once. Previous ball stops or goes out of bounds, and obviously the longest drive will advance. And here's the key component. Club heads must conform to USGA standards.
And they've been testing for CT all week, so all the heads do conform.
All right, we're set for our first match. Here's our public address announcer, Drake.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome match #1. The #4 seed from Wilson, North Carolina, Paul Howell.
A former standout here, Paul Howell, at the Campbell University, played golf there, but a rookie in long drive, a great hitter.
And let's welcome the #1 overall seed, ranked #1 in the world rankings, winner of 2 tour events this season from Collierville, Tennessee, Will Hogue.
He wants to see if the third's the charm. His 3rd time under the lights, really bring it home.
Finished 3rd in the World Long Drive Championship last year.
Howell will have the honors, hitting first.
Will Hogue, 30 years of age, from Memphis, Tennessee, 6'3", 230 pounds. Works as a firefighter, and he can fire the golf ball a long way. He is the #1 seed. Paul Howell will go first. He goes by the nickname Chewy, 25 years of age, from Wilson, North Carolina, 6'5", 305 pounds.
Grid is clear. Play away.
That's country strong, Bob.
The clock starts. 3 minutes to hit 8 shots. See that ball speed up at 206 miles an hour. Pay attention to the apex there at 163. We want to see that apex right around, say, between 130 and 150.
Just getting a little quick right there from the top. He just got to slow it down. Everything's going 3 times as fast as it did on the range.
Art, as a 2-time champion, someone that's been in the spotlight, what do you do if you're a guy like Howell to sort of slow it down and make sure you get at least 1 in play?
You absolutely have to slow down and breathe. The one thing you forget on the tee is to breathe. And again, the hook shows how fast he is from the top. That's all it is right there.
First 3 shots, clearly that's nerves. Now it's time to start to pick a target.
And of all the players, I notice he tees at the lowest, Michael.
And farthest back, too, which is what I see. He's looking at this one anxiously. Good apex.
Nice shot.
Let's stay in.
There we go.
Yeah, it does. They carried it 340, 354.
Yeah, slow grid tonight again. Got to get some big here. I'd raise this tee height a little bit.
And he just changed drivers.
Why would he do that after hitting one 354 yards?
Well, he might have wanted to just get 1 in play and then take out the one that's going to go a little bit farther. That obviously flew a lot farther, didn't roll as Marvin near 360.
And took it at 210 miles an hour. That was definitely a center punch.
Yeah.
But you can see it's not rolling, so you have to take the ball up on that apex to fly it down that grid.
Now, Art, in competition, does Howell have sort of a number in his mind that he thinks he needs to have?
Against the Will Hogue, I think these guys know it would have been nice to see it in the 360s, maybe 370. And again, if he's going to take this shot, he's got to take it down the right side maybe to get some roll, because again, this low tee height is a big deal.
You bet.
See the clock. We'll have time to get this final shot off.
All right, everybody. Last
He was telling me in mini tours, you know, you got to go play your first shot. He loves 7 mulligans here.
Gotta get this ball in the air with, what, about 2 seconds left?
Absolutely, yeah. Right before the clock, he'll get it down there. Again, from the top, he's lightning fast.
Got it off.
Like that. Great numbers.
Apex at 131. That looks great. We'll get fast.
Oh, there's the bounce.
There you go. There you go.
Huge last shot.
375 on his last ball. So he got a couple in the grid, relaxed himself, right? And then he knew on that last one he can go for it.
Look at that ball position back in his stance, and you can see right there, there's the ball position. That's a little bit farther back in the stance than we would see. And then as he starts to go back, look at the big coil. Great rotation. The upper body club goes past parallel. Lower body's going to start to shift right from there and go forward. And then as he does, a lot of fall back in the upper body to create that launch angle. And he got that one up about 131 feet. You can see this ball get fast in the fairway. Almost flew at 360, and now that one releases about 15 yards.
Think he liked that one?
Yeah, just a little bit. But he's waving goodbye to it.
So now Will Hogue, who's the #1 overall seed, knows that the number he has to beat is 375. Give me the mindset, Art, now of Will Hogue here as he opens up his set.
This guy is so experienced. He is not scared. He just had, him and his wife, they had a baby this year. He hasn't practiced as much. Again, he had a great tour start, but he's been under the lights from the Speedway back in 13 to last year. So he's definitely not fearful as he has a lot of experience. See if he can build on this. Great golf swing there.
I can tell you, Art and Mike, that on the practice tee, Chewy Paul Howell was the most relaxed coming into the competition right before getting over here. Will Hogue was the most focused the entire time.
Look at how he uses the lower body, and his legs are really thrusting through that.
His big flaw, Michael, is he'll take the club inside and then have a little over-the-top move, which can cause a little cut spin.
That's correct. It'll make him a little bit straighter, but it's going to rob him of some distance.
It's kind of like a flat fade, though. It's not a big curve from left to right.
Still apexed it out at 171. He's got all the club head speed and ball speed he needs, 212.
Yeah.
This is faster than I remember from last year.
So after hitting the grid on his first shot, Hogue has missed the last 3.
He's interested. A little higher than you want to see that at 146. Will it release?
Now the psychological part here is he kind of hit that, I thought, pretty darn good. And he's at 352. And when you need 23 more, you got to go for it.
These numbers look really good, just a little bit high in the apex.
That's way out of play.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the thing about this competition. It's match play. He's the #1 overall seed, but right now he's got 2 balls left, or he's eliminated if he doesn't beat the number.
Absolutely, but he's just waving bye-bye to that one. And there's his nutbacks number again,
Boy, that's
212.
really good.
And that's flat.
Will it get hot in the fairway? That's the question.
367,
367.
But that's in the neighborhood now.
Yeah, but it's the left side of that grid that's sort of the speed slot.
Howell got the draw on the roll. He has the fade.
Great numbers. That's going to be too high. That ball at the 181.
Oh, it pitched.
366.
So how about that? The #1 seed, Will Hogue, has been eliminated here in the round of 16 by Paul Howell, who fires out a 375 en route to the victory. And Paul Howell is with Jerry Foltz.
Chewy, your first time under the lights, Art Eslinger said the one thing you need to remember to do when you get on this stage is to breathe. It looked like you were rushing it early, but how big was it to take those deep breaths before that last ball?
Oh, man, it was really huge. I felt myself rushing, and I was getting really out of sync. And so when I stepped back, took some deep breaths, and I knew I was going up against a great competitor in Will, and took some deep breaths and dug in deep and tried to hit my best ball.
You were one of the most relaxed, probably the most relaxed right before you came out on stage of all the 16 competitors. Is that your nature or is that by design?
That's my nature. I just kind of come out here and have fun and see it as a golf thing, and so it's been really fun to come out here under the lights.
All right, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Chewy on to the quarterfinals.
Big upset as Will Hogue is eliminated by Paul Howell.
Well, this is a really powerful swing. Obviously, at 6'5", he's going to generate a lot of club head speed. And obviously, look at that reaction.
Will Hogue gave it his best. That one was the one that went 366, but it wasn't good enough. Next matchup coming up, Justin Moose and Maurice Allen. But make sure you join the conversation. You know, we're having a lot of fun here in Thackerville, Oklahoma. So you can go to Instagram or Twitter on social media. # World Long Drive. Let's take a look at some of the live look of what people are doing on social media. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all the platforms. Louis Oosthuizen get involved. Make sure you're a part of it. See your name up on the screen tonight here on Golf Channel. All right, guys can hit the ball 400 yards. So what is 400 yards? Multiply that by 3, that's 1,200 feet. What's that in relation to? All right, so you got a school bus. Stack 26 and a half, almost 27 of them. That's 400 yards. How about a 747? You fly across the country, almost 5 airplanes. It's football season, NFL time. Well, 4 football fields, fits inside our grid. And then take a look at the Eiffel Tower. 1.5 Eiffel Towers stacked together. That's how far these guys can hit the golf ball here at the World Long Drive Championship. And there's a look at the grid. Matchup number 2 is set to go in this round of 16 from Thackerville, Oklahoma.
All right, crowd, let's hear it. All right, let's welcome the number 7 seed from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Justin Moose.
What a great golf swing. Look for a lot of golf balls in the grid out of Justin.
Clarion University of Pennsylvania, works as a site manager.
Qualified for the U.S. Open sectionals 3 times.
And his opponent, the number 3 seed from Pine Hills, Florida, Maurice Allen.
His second consecutive appearance here at WinStar under the lights. If he hits one solid and in play, he will go ballistic.
Florida A&M, motivational speaker. I'm sure he's got himself all pumped up for tonight's round of 16.
This guy's
Justin will have
intense.
the honor in this set.
I mean, he wears a mouthpiece to hit the golf ball, Bob.
Let's take a look at the BioBlast. He doesn't want to bite down. And take a look at the profile of Maurice Allen. 34 years of age, Pine Hills, Florida. 5'8", smaller by standards of a lot of the competitors, 225 pounds. Goes by the nickname of Mike Jones. And there's Justin Moose, 6'3", 255 pounds, Steel City native, 30 years of age.
Let him hear you.
And the Moose is loose. He'll go first.
Justin, the grid is clear. Play away.
Talks about how the most important thing for him in his golf swing is his tempo. You can see how slow and deliberate he is in the backswing.
He's got to use science over violence right here because, again, he has a tighter, shorter action, more compact. He's a player.
Yep. You'll see his club head speed's going to get into the high 130s.
Career best is 448.
Watch this. Watch how. This is a great view of it. Watch how his hands get away from his chest. Those numbers are pretty good. And what he has to do, although that apex is a little high, what he has to do is, he more than most, he has to hit it in the center of the club face. At that club head speed, his ball speed can only go up with a center strike.
That's Bobby Peterson looking along with the critter, Jeff Crittenden.
That ball speed down there, so you know he missed that club face, the center of it.
So everything's been left. What do you do to kind of combat that, Michael, and maybe start it down the center? Do you aim a little more right?
Well, that would be the easiest thing to do, is to aim it down the right, but what I might do is just move that ball position back a bit, and when that ball position gets moved back, now that's going to start that out a little bit more to the right.
That looked like good action right there. See what kind of number he can get.
There you go. See, he flew that out there about 345 and it only released about 4 yards. So he's got one in the grid.
If he plays a speed contest with Allen here, though, Allen will beat him. Oh, he locked that one. 205. That's flat, too. There's your roll.
And it's down that left-hand side where it will release a little bit.
Best numbers yet.
364. 364.
364 for Moose.
That was a quick hook. So last ball coming up here.
All right, this is just
Plenty of time.
So, Art, you know you've hit one 364, which is a pretty respectable number. Do you now just come out of your shoes here and see how far you can hit it?
You know, a guy like Moose with that much experience, I was surprised he left 35, 40 seconds on the last ball. That tells you he was quick. But definitely go for it right here, Justin.
Good ball speed number. Apex a little high. See how high that was. That's why that ball's not releasing. He flew it out about 355.
That's just a long fly, isn't it?
So Justin Moose posts 364.
Well, we talked about the width that he has in his swing. Watch how far his hands get away from his chest. Let's go ahead and take that back slowly. And as you start to go, you can see the chest working, almost shifting into that trail side. Look at the width that he has. This is a shorter swing than the other competitors, but you can tell how well he uses that ground by what happens with that lead foot. Watch the lead foot right there. Watch how it's jumping up.
Now he can just sit and watch. As you take a look, he missed his first 5, then put the 364 up. Last ball was 358. So Maurice Allen now has 8 opportunities to pass that 364 number and advance.
And in his second match this week, he went 393 right here on this grid. Notice how he starts out on those toes.
Yeah,
Michael.
interesting way he starts that. That's something that we're going to want to pay attention to here. Club head speed, ball speed.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, very similar. Watch how when he starts, and if we get a close-up, watch how he's going to lean into those toes. Those heels are going to be up into the air. You ask, why would he do that? Because you need to get some real weight into that right heel. This is something that Tim Burke has changed in the last year. And
his left arm is 6 inches longer than his right arm. How is that going to affect his swing?
Well,
amazing.
One of the things that that's going to do is that's going to let him get under this a little bit more, so his trajectory will tend to get up into the air quite a bit. Apex number there is 165.
How long that ball's staying in the air.
It's going to stay in down that left side, right at 360.
And that may be enough.
There, he's got to beat 364, but he's got one close. What do you make of that on the toes, Michael?
The getting out on the toes, look at that ball speed at 214 and 146 club head speed.
Oh, look where that ball flew over 360. I mean, he's got the gas if he can straighten it out. But so much pressure. Here's the back half of this set, 4 golf balls. I always thought ball 5 and 6 were key.
When does it start to seep into your head?
Ball 7 is the big seep into the head, but I think 6 is a critical golf shot. You know, he had his mentor here last year, Dr. J. Julius Irving, kind of helping him out psychologically, and he doesn't have him here this year, so we'll see how he performs.
That's going to help him get some weight. Those up on the toes, you can see how he has that little start to the swing. He doesn't like that one.
Now, all his success in his career has been early. He's never really faced this position. He won his match last year early, and so we're going to see what he can muster up here down at the end of the set.
He's got 2 balls left. Does he have enough time here?
Yeah, he should be okay. He can get it off quick. He gets this one off at about 25. And on the last ball, he'll be fine. He just, again, he's never faced this kind of pressure. That's the key to Maurice. See if he can pull it out.
All right, here's the deal with Maurice Howell. He's down to his final ball. He's got to beat 364.
He's shaking it off.
Doesn't think he hit it solid enough.
Too high.
Yeah, pitch and catch right there. 340 and start.
So Justin Moose has moved on to the Elite 8. His drive of 364. 4 yards better than Maurice Allen.
Good job, Justin! Good job, Justin.
You're going to see a lot of very unique things here. One of the unique things about Maurice here is how the heels are in the air. Now, when he starts back, he's going to pump fake it. He's going to set that weight into the heel, kind of stop right in here, and that's going to help close the shoulders, which is going to give him a little bit more turn. Look at how shut the face is. Here's the tight shot. Now, when he starts back, yeah, you're going to see this trail heel right over here. That's going to set down as he starts to move. You can see he plants that, but the lead heel stays up, and that stays up all the way through.
Moose is through, and he's with Jerry Fultz.
The Moose is through, Bob. The Moose that grew up in a town not far from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, has actually caddied for Arnold Palmer in the past. We lost him recently. We know that's on everybody's mind. Not to bring a sad note to this event, but something like that, did that give you inspiration?
A little bit, yeah. I had my grandpa pass this year, and to have him and Arnie pass is just 2 great men in my life, and absolutely. I mean, I just want to live by their morals and integrity.
That's a very high goal and very admirable. Now, the higher seed gets to choose whether they want to go first or second. Of course, Maurice chose to go second as a higher seed. Do you think that strategy worked in your favor by getting a good one out there and putting the pressure on?
I do. So I fell into that trap last year with Justin Young and came up about a yard short. So I talked with Michael Breed this morning and said if I had the choice, I'd go first.
Congratulations. You're moving on to the quarters.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So the strategy worked out well for Justin Moose. He is advanced. He will take on Paul Howell. Maurice Howell gave it a shot, but he came up 4 yards short. Justin Moose with a drive of 364 yards takes him the victory. Coming up next, the defending champ, Tim Burke, squares off against Justin James here at the World Long Drive Championship. Well, let's take a look back at the 2015 World Long Drive Championship presented by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Tim Burke squaring off against Jeremy Easterly. Jeremy Easterly's long drive, 386 yards. Tim Burke not deterred. Art?
Absolutely not. Again, this guy had the record in the finals at 427. When you have the belt, you're going for number 2, you step up, and you let her fly. And boy, he did. Look at that little fade. This grid was so fast last year, and it was gone. That ball rolled about 25 yards, and there's number 2 right there.
Remember the drama in which Tim Burke won his first back in 2013 as well. Tim Burke, the defending champion.
He always seems to hit the shot when he needs to. Sort of the definition of a champion.
But remember, as we saw with Will Hogue just a moment ago, this is single elimination. Doesn't matter what your pedigree is, what your seed is, you got to perform with the 8 balls that you have to work with.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the number 4 seed from Ponte Vedra, Florida, Justin James.
Justin burst on the scene this summer with a tour win. Great golf swing fundamentals, again trained by his father, a professional long driver, Jerry James.
Yeah, Jerry James, the world champion in 06 and 07.
Yeah, in that Masters division. He went from 0 basically to 16th ranked in the world this summer.
And his opponent, the number 1 seed, 2-time world champion and our defending champion from Orlando, Florida, Tim Burke.
Enough has been said about Burke. He wants a 3rd belt to hang on the wall. He's got a big fan base here at WinStar. Look for some heat out of Burke tonight.
And this is the match that he is most worried about. He said he has to get the speed on his club. He hasn't had to do it yet. This is the one that he's really worried about.
Justin James will go first.
And again, look at the size difference in these guys from really a height standpoint, with Burke at 6'5" and James at about 6 foot. You're going to like this James action. I mean, it's really good.
There are some things that James counts on. Obviously, feet, legs, and core. That's really what everybody here is paying attention to. But for James, particularly important for his right hand to work properly for him. See how much he moves forward into that shot. A big full turn, almost like he's making such a big turn that his head moves off the ball.
Yeah, he gets deep into his right side again. He's the Callaway driver right here. Good setup, got a nice rehearsal right there. Gets deep into that right side. And watch the right leg here. It just goes. But he's never faced this kind of pressure. We can sit here and talk technique all night, but until you feel the heat and the lights are on you, you cannot practice this at all until you feel it one time. He's going against a guy that's felt it 4 times in the last 5 years.
A guy who's delivered under that kind of pressure.
Absolutely. Little flat draw down the left side. See if he can run, but it's going to run out.
Got to sit. 370 though. Those numbers are pretty good. And 370, he knows he's got it in there. Now we just have to get it into the grid.
Michael, what are the numbers that these guys ideally want to hit when we see them come up?
Well, it's all going to depend on what they're doing with their drivers. So like Tim Burke, I spoke to him earlier, he's going at 2.5 on the loft that he has. That's really good. That one there's got some speed to it too.
Longest drive of the night, almost 381. 216 top ball speed of the night right here.
See how it's a very slow tempo. And then when he starts down, he's really cranking with those legs and core.
When I see a swing like that, 0 interruption of energy is what I see. Yeah.
Look a little out of order there, but almost 150 miles an hour of club head speed, 216 on the ball. I think he might be able, if he gets one, I think he can get it past that 381. He might get this close to 390.
Oh, that's about right. Cut that one.
So he knows he only has 1 in, but it's 381.
I mean, longest drive of the night. It's only getting a little chillier out here. The ball's not going to go as far. Again, I think the conditions are pretty much the same, but when that temperature drops. But when you hit the longest ball at 381, I think you're pretty happy. He definitely is going to make the champ beat him.
Final ball for Justin James.
I don't think he hit that quite as solid. He lost about 8 miles an hour ball speed.
And a little flatter. Does it stay in? No.
OB. All right, let's give him a
Doesn't matter because he has the 381 on the board.
Big shot. Big shot right there. That's a big number. Impressive performance right there by Justin.
Pay attention to what goes on with his right-hand position here, and also pay attention to what happens with his head. So when he takes his club back, as he starts to go very smooth tempo, very deliberate, leans into his trail side, you're going to see a lot of high arm flow in all these swings. The head has moved out, and then really cranking that push off the ground with the legs, and flies it out there about 360, and then he gets another 20, 21 yards of roll.
So he only got one in play, but it was a good one. 381 yards. And now the defending champ, Tim Burke.
Give it up for the defending champion.
Ready to go.
Tim, the grid is clear. Play away.
Again, he's looking to join some elite company tonight. Sean Pfister with 3 titles. Jason Zuback 5 titles, of course. Many guys have won 2. Handful.
Nobody's worked as hard in the last year on their swing and body as this guy.
But a little bit thin, I thought. 140 on the club, but 204.
All right, what did it do, though, for you psychologically when you get one in right out of the gate?
Awesome. I mean, you know, I know he knows he has more. He's hitting the ball solid. That was a little bit cold. Got his ball speed up 6 miles an hour. Again, he is really, really savvy on the tee. He's grown as a player. He used to be a little bit more wild.
364.
I think what Tim is really focusing on is, he didn't like that one. He knows the number that he has to beat, and he also knows that the grid is not running, the ball is not releasing in there, so he knows that he's got to get his club head speed up a bit. We haven't seen one that's been in the 148 range, and he's got to get there. Still down at 141.
Yeah, he's going a little fast. I think, again, you should finish that 4th shot right at about 125, and he was probably 20 seconds ahead of that. So maybe he'll back off here, go in his routine, tees the ball up really high, 4-inch tee.
Here's where he wants to count on his experience.
That shot last year would have, you know, at flat fade worked on this hot grid. This year it's a lot softer. But, you know, again, this 381 is a huge shot. I mean, huge. Howell killed it 375, got a ton of roll. That's 6 yards longer.
He had said this was the match that he was worried about.
Got a minute for 2 balls. No reason to rush here. Got a whole minute here. You can back off, breathe. Jerry, tell me, has he taken any deep breaths back there and kind of calmed himself?
Not until just now, just before this 7th ball. No, he's been quietly confident the whole time this week, but he's feeling it right now. No question, you can see it in his demeanor.
But you look at it again, an experienced champion had over a minute for 2 shots.
That ball speed at 216, that's been his fastest. Even though he didn't get the club head speed up, he got the ball speed up. But this is huge.
Yeah, remember now, the #1 overall seed, Will Hogue, has already been eliminated. The defending champion, Tim Burke, is down to his final ball. He's got to be 381. And he didn't do it.
He's out. Wow, what a win by Justin James. Huge.
You can't believe it.
It was the match he was worried about, and it proved to be prophetic. The defending champion has been eliminated, Tim Burke, by Justin James, with a drive of 381 yards. All right, Michael Breed, let's take a look at Tim Burke's swing and maybe what was off just a little bit.
Well, one of the things that he's trying to do is he wants to try to load some weight into this trail heel. He said that was the key for him in getting the speed. And when I look at this, I don't really see the load happening as much as he was looking for. Great full swing, lots of leverage and power in there. Now as he starts to use the ground, he's almost over the top a little bit there and kind of fighting that club. You know, when you're looking at a swing like that, and a guy who can generate 150 to 151 miles an hour of club head speed, and he didn't get very close to that, that tells you that he's just out of order.
Justin James moves on. He's with Jerry.
Yes, he did move on and upset by the way that things look on paper, but probably not in your mind. Your dad coaches you. Club head speed's one thing. What did he tell you about how to be mentally prepared for this stage tonight?
Just relax, slow everything down, and you just got to try to hit your ball. That's it.
Do you think the number you put up there at 381 put way too much pressure on the defending champion?
I don't think so, no. He's got way more than that, so I was just trying to hit my ball, do the best I can, and that's it.
How much confidence does this give you moving forward to tomorrow night's quarterfinals?
A little bit, but there's a bunch of guys out there who hit tanks, so you still got to hit your ball.
All right, it was an impressive display. Congratulations. Moving on, Justin.
Here's a look at the winning swing of Justin James. He only got one in the grid out of his 8. Tim Burke got a couple in early, but couldn't get past that number of 381. The defending champ is out. Justin James moves on. Coming up next, Trent Scruggs and Jeff Flagg here at the World Long Drive Championship. The WinStar World Casino and Resort is located in Oklahoma, Texas, border just a mile north of the Red River on Interstate 35. It opened in 2004, added the hotel in 2009. 617,000 square foot gaming floor, 18 game plazas, poker rooms, bingo hall, and a whole lot more. Spectacular facility. Tim Burke, the defending champ, has been eliminated. He is with Jerry Foltz.
And obviously disappointed at this moment, Bob. Tim, you told me just a moment ago that you kind of lost it out there. What was the difference tonight in your mind?
I just didn't really trust where I was lined up and just didn't really let it go like I should have, and don't know why.
Did you feel like you might have rushed a little bit on those early balls?
I guess a little bit. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind I was going to hit it past 81, so I was out there. I was like, I hit these first 4, hit one flush, have fun, and it didn't happen, so pretty pissed.
I could imagine. Well, thanks for representing the sport so well all week long, and we look forward to seeing you in future competitions.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jerry.
Well, the belt will not be going to the defending champ, Tim Burke. There'll be a new champion here in 2016, the brand new belt, the World Long Drive Champion belt for 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the number 3 seed and the 2014 World Champion from Chicago, Illinois, Jeff Flagg.
Flagg is strong. He won again in 2014. Great golf swing, good fundamentals. Had a horrible title defense and is looking for redemption tonight.
And his opponent, the number 2 seed from Hickory, North Carolina, Trent Scruggs.
This young man started at the age of 16. He's bagged tour wins, but this is uncharted territory for him in the World Long Drive Championship.
Again, be part of the social media, hashtag World Long Drive.
Jeff Flagg will have the honor of this match.
Right. Scruggs getting well wishes on Twitter. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Hashtag World Long Drive. Jeff Flagg will go first.
And as you said, Art, this is a golf swing that you could see almost any weekend. This is as technically solid a motion.
Great athlete, baseball player, you know, right out of Mississippi State, and awesome when he burst on the scene in 2014 and won it. I've really never seen him take the club speed, though, Michael, up over 143 or 4 or 5 right in there. So he's very well connected with his golf swing. I think if he uses those wrists, and lets the club unwind, he'll get some speed.
Talks about the importance of his look at that motion, how in sync his golf swing is. And you can see the club head speed is not going to be high, but what you'll notice is he will get pretty good numbers with ball speed, and that will not count because it landed out of play and comes back in. But again, I think if he would let the wrist go and he would unwind the club head and really throw the head instead of turn and connect, he can get that club head speed up to 140s to be dangerous.
34. Because, Michael, there is a difference, right, between going long here and what would be a golf swing that you're looking for.
Well, when you look at this swing, first of all, great width in the backswing, sets it at the top nicely. It's in balance. And then as he starts to get, look, it helps that he's 6'6", but as he starts to come down, he's using the ground properly. And then in his terms, what he's really trying to do is figure out how to time this up from hip to hip. club is going to be excellently planed right there.
I just don't think that you can give up 7 miles an hour club head speed to this field. You need a fast grid to be successful to get it out there into that 370-80. And again, he's at 350 right here, 30 yards behind James, who was 10 miles an hour faster.
He has won one of these World Long Drive Championships, but the conditions were favorable for him. He had to hit a little bit of a lower shot, and I remember when he hit that shot, he took it down the left side with a little bit of a cut. I think he won it about 366 or 7.
Exactly. That was at the Paiute out there in Las Vegas, and again, he doesn't have a fast enough grid, and Scruggs will have more gas than he will here shortly.
Plenty of time.
You figure each mile an hour club speed is about 2.5 yards. So when you give up 10, you're giving up 25 yards. That's on a flush hit.
Gotta let it go. This is a very, again, traditional stuff that you're seeing here with this motion. Ball position just off the left heel. Doesn't really sink deep into that right hip.
And again, when I see this, he's going as hard as he can with the body, the shoulder, the right hip. I mean, he is ripping his body through the ball, but I just don't see the hands being as free to let the club head go.
He's almost got to create some more speed with the toe of the club.
Absolutely.
And let those forearms and hands.
Let that left wrist rehinge on the way through.
Final ball for Jeff Flagg. He's already posted 350.
That's all he had right there. 37.208 on that Volvic golf ball there is punished.
A little bit high in that apex, but he added at least a yard.
Right.
351 is the number that Jeff Flagg, the 2014 champion, has posted. Now he sits and he watches.
You think it's going to be enough?
I think this is a match of Trent Scruggs against Trent Scruggs right here. If Trent hits his shot, he wins.
It's time now for our Callaway Power Tip, Michael.
Well, let's take a little look here and pay attention to what we're seeing with that left foot as he starts to go back now. I love this motion. He doesn't sink into that right heel as much as he could, but at the top of the swing, great movement, and look at how much he pushes off there. Look at, you can see the total underside of the shoe. Again, pay attention to this foot right here and watch how this is going up into the air and back. Watch it jump back, and you can see it twist over there. This is a really good look. Watch, it's going to jump back and then twist on the outer edge of that foot. Very similar to Albert Pujols as Pujols comes through the golf ball, or the baseball rather.
So you see his last ball, his best, 2 in the grid. 351 is what he's posted.
All right, the grid is clear.
Now it's up to Trent Scruggs. All right, it's obviously for him, he knows it's a manageable number.
It really is. And again, he has a lot of good golf experience. He's a scratch player. And you will see more club head speed, I think, when he gets going. And he should be able to take it over 350 if he hits his shot. He flew that 340 right there. I don't think he hit it real solid. But a good start. He's watching that on that screen over there. He knows where that flew. It's a nerve issue really with him. It's all it is right now.
Well, and I'll tell you something, you're going to see something very interesting with this swing, because when he gets to the top of this swing, you're going to see his belt line sink down.
Yes.
And he's going to really drop into that, create a lot more knee flex, and that's going to allow him to jump coming through the ball. A lot more forward ball position.
And again, this is all nerves right here. He has to slow down, take it easy. I think there's a time where you overswing, and again, you can't hit the face, you can't be in sequence. I think if he thought about 90–95% and really hit one on the button, he could pull it off.
Needs to get 1 in the grid. He's got to hang in there down the left-hand side.
All right, make more noise, please.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was a great golf shot to me.
354, 355.
And now right here, this is free bonus time right here to learn what he needs to do for tomorrow night. He's going to try a couple things here. But again, that was a great win right there to be past champion, his first time under the lights.
Interesting that even though he won, he may still choose to hit all the golf balls. If this were tomorrow, what would you do, Art? Would you finish these, or would you kind of say, hey, I've got another match to go, I don't want to waste it?
Well, tomorrow night you have 3 matches, so if that was the quarterfinals tomorrow night, I think you save yourself. You win the match. He's trying to rush right here to beat the clock, too. Again, this is a young guy, 22 years old, and he just wants to hit the golf balls and beat the clock here. I think he's enjoying this, though. To make a top 8 after so many close calls that he's had, this is awesome.
Trent Scruggs has already advanced.
Boy, it is really fun to watch him use the ground, see how his lower body pushing off the ground to create that club head speed.
But just think about this real quick, guys. How far is that 381 shot by James? I mean, that's sending a message to the field right there. And that is who he will face tomorrow night, Scruggs and James.
Trent Scruggs, a 21-year-old from Hickory, North Carolina, has moved on. Rather 254 yards. 354 yards. Defeats Jeff Flagg.
Watch this right leg right here. Watch how this sinks down as he goes. Takes the club back. He's going to extend out right here. Now watch this. Watch this all dive down, and then boom, he explodes off the ground. Look at the lead foot jump back. It almost moves back like a foot. Paying attention to this foot right here. Watch that this comes off the ground, and then use that ground. It'll come off the ground again. That is not something that you're going to see on a Sunday of a PGA Tour event, but it is what you will see all night and tomorrow as these players are generating as much club head speed as they can.
Trent Scruggs advances. He's with Jerry.
And Bobby just told me he didn't catch any of them that well, but he got it done. Is that a feeling of relief in this stage?
It is, but I definitely have more in the tank. It's just a matter of getting the feeling of this tee box. It's the first time here in the top 16, but I'll be ready for tomorrow night.
Youngest competitor in the field. This must be a different experience indeed. When you miss the first 3 left, how hard is it not to let that panic set into your mind?
It's not very panicky because I got one of the best club builders in the world, Bobby Peterson. So I can just switch and just hang with it and hit a good shot.
All right, good shout out to your friend as well. Congratulations. Good luck moving on.
Thank you very much.
Well, the defending champ and 2-time champion, Tim Burke, has been eliminated, and so has the 2014 champion, Jeff Flagg. So Justin James with the long drive of the night so far, 381 yards, moves on. Trent Scruggs needed just 354 to advance. Paul Howell, Justin Moose, Justin James, and Trent Scruggs have all moved on to tomorrow night, going for the belt here at the World Long Drive Championship. They see the teeing area. Synthetic Turf International manufacturers in Dalton, Georgia, with local representation throughout the United States and Canada, produces various types of turf for everything from playgrounds to putting greens and driving ranges. Related to golf, their Easy Tee Turf is designed for result-oriented practice and allows for a true natural swing with the ability for the golfer to use as a real tee. For the 2016 World Long Drive Championship, Synthetic Turf shipped over 2,400 square feet of turf, and workers assembled the stage in 4 hours with the end result of a professional look and feel for all of the competitors. And that is the setting for this evening. Well, we're 4 matches in on this Tuesday evening. Your thoughts as we've seen the number 1 seed Will Hogue and the defending champion Tim Burke eliminated.
Bob, in theory, you'd think Flagg and Burke, they move on in the bracket, but these guys, James and Scruggs, destroyed the brackets tonight. So again, the upset is here to stay.
Michael, 381, pretty long.
Well, that's the thing I think everybody's going to be looking at the end of this night. They're going to look at 381 from the 26-year-old. It was impressive, and I think that's the point where everybody's paying attention as they go forward.
Well, it's a lot of fun and explosive swings, and obviously these guys are sending the ball deep into the air, and they're doing it in 2016 with a little pizzazz. New to the 2016 World Long Drive Championships is the Volvic Vista IV golf ball. This golf ball is perfect because it suits the faster swing speed, so players gain distance, but still produces straighter shots due to the low driver spin the ball provides. Volvic implemented a soft cover, solid core technology that gives way to better energy transfer, longer distances, and a softer feel. But what really stands out for the competitors, judges, and spectators are the 4 colors the Vista IV offers: orange, green, pink, and yellow. These colors lead to improved visibility of the golf ball from all areas of the grid. We asked some of the long drive competitors which color golf ball is their favorite.
Mine is yellow. I love all the colors, but the green and orange, it's all about the U, baby.
My favorite Volvic golf ball color is orange.
Take a look at some of the key stats with the Volvic Vista IV golf ball. 4 pieces with 392 dimples, exceptional spin control for straighter shots, and you saw the 4 colors and the favorites for the different players in the field here this week at the 2016 World Long Drive Championship. Well, guys are loosening up on the range as we've got 4 more matches still to come. Join the conversation, hashtag World Long Drive on social media of your choice.
A good drive feels like the biggest nuclear explosion possible.
Feels like hitting a walk-off home run.
A shot of adrenaline to the heart.
Feels like fireworks going off.
As soon as it leaves the face, you know it's gone. It's the best feeling in the world.
A good drive feels like a pecan cluster blizzard from Dairy Queen. Just good to the last drop.
Welcome you back to the World Long Drive Championship. Art, you won this twice. What did it feel like for you?
It actually felt nothing. It felt like air. It was like hitting a marshmallow. It was just soft to me when you just hit it right flush in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the 16th seed from Arlington, Texas, Mitch Dobbyn.
What a week it's been for him, polishing off the #1 seed Ryan Riesbeck, the only lefty in the field. And there's his brother, Mike Dobbyn, 2007 champion. I think Mitch is a runt to the litter there with the size of Mike. And he is the only lefty in the field.
And his opponent, the 13th seed of Clearwater, Florida, Steve, the Predator, Monroe.
Picture says 1,000 words there. The Predator's going to go ballistic tonight. Don't be fooled here. He can fill it up.
Love the mask.
Let's go, Mitch!
He won't hit with that arm, though. How'd you like to have that big brother protecting you, Bob?
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good protection, but his brother can't help him right now. It's all him now.
Right. His brother's given him some wisdom maybe from the 2007 victory that he had and multiple tour wins that he's had. But this is all playing with house money for Mitch, I think. That's his dad right there to Mike's right.
Justin James' dad. Back behind him, too.
Again, Mitch started this week way back on Thursday in last chance qualifying. I mean, he's hit more rounds. He had to hit 6 rounds in last chance qualifying. Then he faces Riesbeck in his 2nd round, polishes him off. So he's had an amazing week.
Yeah, it's number 16 versus number 13.
Yeah, Monroe only hit 1 event this year. He qualified out of Denver, the regional championship. In the Callaway Series, there were 6 qualifying events in that regional championship. And Steve just hits in 1 event a year, and he's been doing this since 2007.
349 for Dobbyn as that stayed in.
Talks about the important thing in his golf swing is sequencing. What does he mean by sequencing? Making sure that the lower body is leading that downswing letting the shoulders, arms, and hands go, and you can see how soft that ball is as it gets into the grid.
2.5 inches of rain. I mean, that grid is just not releasing. That ball is hot. That ball should roll 30, 35 yards easily.
Again, if you look at that lead foot, how much that is moving around.
But you look at the club head speed at 135. He's getting a lot out of it with ball speed. Again, I think you'll see the Predator probably take it up over 140. So, again, he's got to find a hot spot on this grid, Mike.
Absolutely.
And Art, the hot spot for him at his ball speed and carry distance is that right side. There's a downhill slope right at about 341 or 2. He caught it with one ball. The left side is not going to get any roll.
So he's got to turn it, Jerry, into that right corner of that grid, kind of hit a little, kind of draw from the middle to the right side and get that downhill bounce.
To get every last yard of it, that's exactly what he has to do. And swinging this hard, that's a narrow fairway.
That's up there, and that's a good apex, too. That should get a little bit of roll.
Just short of his best.
All right, last ball for Mitch Dobbyn. So far, 349 is his best. Second to last ball, excuse me.
They got 30 seconds left. First time under the lights. I mean, he has never seen this event close to this level. So. But he hit 2 real solid shots. Just needs that roll.
And there wasn't bad at 345, but they carried a long way and good numbers. But you're right, he needs to get that roll.
So when all things are equivalent, and if Monroe goes 142 club speed and hits it flush, it's really going to be, you know, not looking good for Mitch. But congratulations, what a great deal to make that, you know, that final 16.
Dobbyn hit it 372 and advancing to this round of 16. So the number to beat is 349 for Steve Monroe.
You can see those numbers of club head speed and ball speed. That ball speed at 201. Here's a little look at what I think is a really good motion. It's just not as fast as you want it. All the lines look really good in the posture. Now as he starts to go back, good full turn with the hips. Length of swing is excellent. Uses the ground properly. And that lead foot clears out again. Pay attention to this lead foot right here as this drops back up in the air, gets way behind it, and then watch it jump off the ground.
Mitch's brother Mike kind of urge him on. 349, the number for Mitch Dobbyn. So now Steve Monroe, the Predator.
And this guy's a mini tour veteran. I mean, he can really play golf. I played 3 rounds of golf with him and never saw him shoot over 67. So watch this golf swing. And when your fans are wearing the same shirt you are, you know you're doing good right there.
3 against 1.
Right. But really, watch this golf swing. He's played so much golf.
Smooth.
He's fluid. It's smooth. It's pure. A lot of wrist action. He's never had a set in the history that he's competed where he's missed the green.
All right, Steve,
That's
the grid
a
is
state
clear.
never. And he's been out there for now. This is his 10th year.
And Art, when he warmed up like a tour pro, starting with wedges, went all the way through the bag, and only maybe a dozen drivers.
Right, yeah, he plays golf out there, Jerry.
The way he's been hitting it this week.
And she misses the grid there.
There you go. He's just too good. He just hits it so solid, so in the middle of the face, and that's where the golf comes into play.
That's a pretty high apex, though.
Yeah, but
42. See, he just didn't get anything out of it on the ground. Good numbers of club head speed and ball speed, but he's got to get that a little bit lower.
Held that kind of coming through there.
Time to go for a new driver.
All right, again, what would be the motivation to switch drivers?
I think the fact that he didn't get any run there, he might go to a little tighter golf shaft. He might go to a little lower loft.
Yeah.
Great lines in his setup right here. I mean, really traditional setup. But we got to slow it down just a little. He's got, you know, he's at 148 to go. I think somebody needs to step up and say, you know what, I'm going to hit 7 and go slow, and I'm going to really make the most out of it. And mean, but nobody will ever do that. They won't leave a lottery ticket on the ground.
I just think, and here's the thing.
Now he's going back.
Again, the psychological component of this, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter that he hit 376 in his last round. It matters just here, right now. And it starts to get between the ears, doesn't it?
It really does. Because, again, this guy's accurate. I mean, real accurate. But now he's taking his time, Jerry, don't you think?
Exactly. Changed drivers, took a deep breath, looked over the clock, knew he had plenty of time.
And he's got plenty of speed, 140, 210. I mean, he just, again, I've never seen him hit it this wild, Mike. Never have.
Just one in the grid so far. Those numbers are great. If he can find the grid, that's not the question is not about the distance. It's about the accuracy.
He's just out of sync. He really just is. Again, 45 seconds left with one ball. It's kind of a 23-second per ball deal. Just shows you how fast they get.
We saw this with Tim Burke, the defending champ earlier. You know, a very manageable.
So now he's walking away, and imagine how much time he could have had with all those other golf balls right there.
So it comes down to one swing for the Predator, Steve Monroe. He has to beat Mitch Dobbyn's 349.
Might have taken a little bit too much time back there. Maybe he's fine. He's good.
But see if he can really square it up.
He'll let you know.
Go, baby!
He can't believe it now.
And that is the beauty of the match play here, the long drive. I mean, 349 is a very gettable number, and Mitch Dobbyn is advanced with a number that in a lot of the other matches we saw tonight would have been beaten. Jerry is with Mitch, who's advanced.
And what's it like sitting there in that chair knowing that the number you posted was within reach for your competitor?
It's very intense. I'm going nuts sitting there. It's hard to watch. It's just crazy as can be. I'm enjoying this so much, just soaking it in.
Who do you think exhibits more adrenaline during this competition, you or your brother, your father out here?
I think that would be a close call right there. I know it's so hard to watch. When I was watching him in 07, I was going nuts. I lost my voice for 3 weeks.
Well, he might have as well. You're moving on. That's what it's all about.
Thank you guys so much.
Mike's loving it. He's all fired up. He'll celebrate this evening. His brother Mitch has moved on. Still to come. Well, Steve Monroe gave it his best. The Predator not able to do enough. Mitch Dobbyn got one out there, 349. Not a number you'd think would hold up, despite what Mike thought. But Monroe couldn't chase him down. Joe Miller, the past champ, takes on Glenn Wilson Jr. next. Well, yesterday, Anthony Netto is an international ambassador for Challenge Golf and Paralong Drive champion. Yesterday, Anthony was hit to hit a ceremonial first drive, displaying his extraordinary ability. He plays golf actively with the aid of the Paramobile, which he developed with some friends. Anthony put on a really good show yesterday, Mike.
I tell you, it's just impressive to see him. 262 yards. He hit that tee shot, and I've had the chance to do an outing with Anthony. He is a remarkable individual.
Here's a look at the competitors who qualified for the World Long Drive Championship out of the Callaway World Long Drive Qualifying Series, events held throughout 2016. And guys coming from the various different divisions to qualify in the series, including Glenn Wilson Jr., who's made it to our round of 16, and he is ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the number 6 seed from Monroe, Texas, the Whopper, Glenn Wilson Jr.
He's a son of former MLB star Glenn Wilson, the Philly star, and he's going to need a big home run tonight to advance.
And his opponent, the number 2 seed and the 2010 world champion from London, England, Joe Miller.
Calls himself the total package, and he's going to need the strength and experience to win this match. He will hit the ball the highest tonight. Highest launch angle, longest carry.
Does this softer grid, though, work against them?
Wilson can flight the ball lower, but Miller will go for the carry. If Miller hits it solid, he carries it over 360 tonight.
Well, you can hashtag the Whopper for Glenn Wilson, but make sure you hashtag World Long Drive to be a part of Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Interesting how Wilson goes about his swing now. The way he sees this golf swing is he wants to be quick at the bottom. He thinks a lot of people get a little too quick at the top. He wants to have quickness at the bottom. And what he visualizes, which is fascinating, in his mind he sees a roller coaster. And that roller coaster kind of peaks at the top and then boom, it goes flying down and all the speed is at the very bottom of the coaster. That's the way he sees it in his mind.
Look at that ball speed. Oh my goodness, that's over 220. I mean, that's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah. Right out of the gate, 270
with the right apex. 120. That shows you how soft that grid is. At 125, got no roll base. That ball flew over 360.
It flew to 370 and rolled to 372.
We got lucky there.
Look at those numbers. Club head speed 150. That's the highest today. And obviously ball speed near 220, 222 on the first one.
Somebody asked me what it takes to win this. How about swing fast and hit it flush? So right now, if Glenn Wilson hits his best shot, he wins. I mean, these are numbers that I have never seen before. Over 150, 223. I mean, just a soft, weak fly to right field there is 360 in the air. So this is what World Long Drive is right here. Absolute power and speed. Great technique, huh?
He's got this down the left-hand side. And this could get into the fast part of the grid, too. Cut it. Look at that.
I mean, there's just, again, we've said that all night. There's no roll, but 224. He's pulverizing this golf ball. That's the fastest ball speed ever in this World Long Drive Championship finals right there, 224.
Well, guess what? He just broke it.
Like I said, he owned that record for about 10 seconds.
He's still on.
Jerry, have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, you've been on the fairways. I mean, have you ever thought you'd see TrackMan show 225?
No, that's got to be an error. It's ridiculous. And he's going with the fade on every ball because they know the grid's not releasing to maximize the carry. Well, that was too much fade.
Right, when you miss hit it, you only get 213.
But look at the club head speed at 153. Joe Miller's got his hands full.
2 balls remaining.
What I just noticed there, Michael, is how he kind of slings the club back a little bit. You kind of watch that head and that shaft basically break down. He kind of takes it back, slings it back. I like that hand action.
Yeah, it's something that Ben Hogan did actually in his swing where the handle started before the club head. I love the analogy of the roller coaster. It is really good. That one will show up on the Golf X, I can promise you.
It's the roller coaster I don't want to ride right there.
Final ball for Glenn Wilson Jr.
Treated to a display. Wow. This one's not going to find the grid, but that was special.
Right out of the gate, 372. All right, let Michael explain why he's able to launch it with that club head speed.
Well, you can see how he shifts his weight to his trail side right here. This club has already started to move a little bit. Now, as he starts to go, it's a little bit calm. It's a lot of width, and then look at this speed down at the bottom. You can see that left foot, he can't even keep that thing on the ground. And that ball flew to 369, rolled out a whole 3 yards. Look at those numbers. 225.
6 golf balls over 219.
So, 2010 World Long Drive Champion Joe Miller knows the number he has to beat.
His job's really easy. Swing as hard as you can. That's it for Joe. You know, 145, 214. So again, he's got to just go full out.
Michael, okay, so you see his club head speed is obviously appreciably lower than Glenn Wilson Jr. How does Joe Miller make up the distance without that same club head speed?
He has to hit this in the center of the club face, which at that speed is very challenging. 215 ball speed. Apex looks pretty good. Does he get it in the center of the club face?
Yes, he does, and he gets the
He got
bounce.
the big bounce.
He gets the bounce.
Wow.
That's a flat flight for him.
3, 7, 6.
And there it is.
Joe Miller has moved on.
Wow.
Need not hit another. He might hit a few more, but he is advanced.
And after that display by Glenn Wilson flying at 368, that club on the backswing right there was on his back, bent back around, almost came around his front by his stomach.
Joe Miller is not afraid.
No.
I can tell you that.
No.
That club is going to go fast.
2005, I saw him. He weighed 60 pounds less. He won the European Championship, and I said, this guy is going to be dangerous.
He has on his left foot, he's got the 2 outside spikes removed from that shoe because he's got such force. He doesn't want that outside of the foot being held into the ground.
Absolutely. He's going to, we call him Air Joe. Watch this at impact right here. Both feet are going to come off the ground.
A little hop.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. He's 31 years of age.
Right.
He's won a championship before. He's already hit a number that has moved him on at 376.
Right.
Would you keep ripping it and run the risk of maybe pulling a rib cage muscle or injuring yourself?
I walk off after that shot, no question. I lay the club down, go shake the other guy's hand, I walk off. And I think, honestly, that's somewhat intimidating in a sense, but it's amazing with long drivers. They'll keep hitting and hitting. They hit fast, they hit hard, and they hit many. So
It's a buffet. He's going to eat all the food at the buffet.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but again, he risked some big injury here. He's had some injuries, and I don't know why he's doing this. I really don't.
I worry about the injury at the top of the backswing. That club has more bow in it at the top of the backswing than it does at any other point in the swing.
We have to see that in slow-mo at the top of the backswing. If those guys will pull it up for you, Michael. This club wraps around almost to his front.
And I'll tell you another thing he does too. He ducks watch his head, how his head sort of jumps into his chest as he comes into this downswing. You see his head kind of dump down into his chest? He is doing everything to get that club go as fast as it can, and it worked.
And like you said, he didn't improve upon that after that shot. I think that was a waste of those 4 or 5 swings.
Let's take a little look at this here. Watching the backswing. First of all, great width in the stance. You can see how wide the feet are right here. Now as he starts to go back, he shifts that weight. The club is going to travel back, and it's almost going to hit on the back. It does right there. Now he's getting a sling. Watch, now pay attention to his head as he comes down into the strike. Watch it dive down. You can see it's going right into his sternum.
Can you see that ball?
Nobody can. Why would he be able to? And now we'll take a little peek at what happens with this foot right here. This is the foot that doesn't have any spikes. You can see right there, the spikes are out of the shoe right there. That's where they are. And now it's going to allow him to jump up, spin out. That is violent.
That violent move has Joe Miller moving on. He's with Jerry.
It does, Bob. We were sitting here watching it on the Jumbotron. What did you make of some of those positions you hit during your swing?
It just looks like a normal swing to me. You see that on tour every week, right? But no, I mean this is long drive, so all the moves that you guys see, when these guys are creating power on the tour, we're just taking it to the max, and that's the result. I think so.
When Glenn posted 372, you took the stage. Art Eslinger said you had one simple job. You had to hit your very best to beat that. Did that take a little pressure off you knowing that?
Yeah, it did actually. Glenn went out there and just destroyed it. Fastest. I think he was pretty fast there. But I caught a nice ball, a bit lower spin, and got it done.
All right, moving on. It's all about that. Good luck.
Well, Joe gets a congratulatory tweet, #WorldLongDrive. So Joe Miller, past champion, has moved on to the quarterfinals. He'll take on the 16th seed, Mitch Dobbyn. We'll have 2 more matches to go to fill out that quarterfinal bracket. Tommy Hogue, ready to take center stage. Joe Miller, moving on with a drive of 376 yards. Tommy Hogue squaring off against Justin Young here at the World Long Drive Championship. WinStar World Casino and Resort in Thackerville, Oklahoma. The 41st edition of the World Long Drive Championship. Our defending champ is out. Top seeds are out. Upsets all over the board.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the number 5 seed from Mayberry, North Carolina. Say hello to Justin Young.
He loves this grid here at WinStar. He finished 5th last year under the lights. Let's see what he can bring out to the tee tonight. I love the pants.
I was going to say, he's bringing out the pants.
Yeah, channeling his inner John Daly there.
And his opponent, the number 1 seed from Orange County, California, Tommy Hogue.
Talk about bursting onto the scene this summer on their tour. All the way into the top 5 ranking, started the year unranked, and he's top 5 and had a 1 seed in the World Long Drive Championship.
I love Tommy Hogue's line, too, about his yardage that he's trying to gain. He said, just 1 yard longer than whoever I'm competing against.
And that's really what it is. I mean, in match play, bogeys win holes, okay? In match play, birdies lose holes sometimes. So, you know, you got to play your opponent here for sure. But we've noticed tonight the first guy in 4 of the matches has won.
Well, there are some nerves in play with that first ball. That was the worst one I have seen.
Where'd it go, Jerry? Where'd it go? We didn't
probably
see it.
200 yards right of the grid. I thought he might have cracked the face or the shaft on that one.
Oh! Doesn't matter, though. This one's good.
He forgot about that first one in a hurry. That's a good carry right there, probably in the 40 range.
All right, let's hear you.
Remember, the grid is 50 yards wide. Right. And obviously with that rain, it's made it almost a little bit wider in the sense that we haven't seen a lot of balls on the grid kick off.
Yeah, hot grids, the ball will roll through because, again, it's not vectored to where, again, you're going to have it pan out. There's a straight rectangle grid, and the ball will run through the fairway on a fast track.
Having a difficult time timing it up. The legs are not really working as well as they could or need
Michael, is he loading up enough on his right side that when he takes the club back?
What you can see is he's losing a lot of shots to the right. The club is getting into the right spot. He's just not able to get through the ball. The legs are not creating the torque and the rotation.
Oh! Mike, this is a case of nerves or emotions or something just taking over the body. You cannot hit some of the shots he's hit. You just can't do it.
If you take purpose. You take that, Jerry, take that right shot and that left shot. Those are 350 yards apart.
Michael, are you focusing on his right leg right now to see if he's loading up enough?
I'm looking at his left leg and seeing if he's getting any clearance from there, and he just can't seem to time it up. It's like the hands and the lower body are not communicating to one another. And to Jerry's point, it's almost like he's just so nervous that he can't get it through. This is a big shot.
He's had 3 shots go 45 degrees offline.
His final ball.
Yeah, he did not have it tonight. This was, when it goes bad, it goes bad.
Well, and listen, you know what? This is the thing. Nerves play a big part of this. You talked about it in the Open. Absolutely. You've got to be able to calm yourself, and obviously he was not able to.
The advance with a drive of 355, and none on the grid.
Just a little look here. He shifts in. You can see as he's going, that trail heel kind of sits in there, and then as he goes, it's just kind of, it's like it's almost not in position. It's not timed out. Well, this is a much better look, and what you're going to see is he's going to get a good full turn. Lower body is now going to start to kick in, but it's just not in sequence with what's going on with his hands. His chest kind of hanging back. You can see there's not a real trust in that motion.
Yeah, what I noticed is that left leg really broke down. He didn't hit against the firm left side.
All right, so Tommy Hogue is ready to go now. His opponent has none on the grid.
Right.
Obviously, he's got to get it on the grid.
I hope that he understands all you need is 270. I'd be down to the shaft on this club, hit a little butter fade, and get a ball on the grid. I mean, again, he has no experience in this deal. All you got to do is win the match, choke down 3-4 inches on the club, aim down the left side, hit a little cut, 270, leave.
270. These guys that do 270, like normal people hitting wedges, it was just a smooth swing. Look at the club head speed and ball speed.
You know, I would in a match play, and when I competed, there was no match play. You were against everybody. In this situation, I would have a play club with me with about 8 degrees aloft, 44 inches, just in case that happened, right there. Even a 3 wood.
Yep. You have a shorter shafted club, one that maybe.
So he's honestly, again, this is lack of experience right here. Again, I bet he doesn't even know the minimum rule. I don't know if he does. It's been posted, but I would try a little chip fade, don't you think? I mean, Michael Breen, 270. That's your.
I mean, I own 270 all day long. I might have to get a little bit of a running start, but
I know. But I don't know if he understands, Jerry. I really don't. I mean, and again, it's looking like these are big-time foul balls.
Yeah, well, no, they're not like it's competitive, but I honestly don't know how you'd hit a fade with this grip.
Right. Well, again,
he's just well underneath there.
Oh, no.
That's a left-handed fade.
You could see the pressure building when he just goes to tee up the ball. His hands are shaking, trying to get it on the tee.
He's got 3 balls to get on the grid. Remember, Justin Young did not post a number. All of his balls were off the grid.
I'm saying he needs a hug. Is that what you're saying?
He needs a big bear hug.
Wow. Here's a guy that won on the tour this summer a couple times. So, but I don't know if he's ever faced this kind of situation. Taking the glove off right here.
That's an interesting play.
See if he can go down.
Look at that grip. Interlocking and strong.
Yes. Thumb on the side of the shaft.
He just needs 1 in the grid.
Well, he's only got 1 left, Bob.
And he never changed driver.
No, he didn't do anything. Again, you're coming up with 3 4-degree drivers, 48 inches long, and you need to hit the grid. And I'm going to tell you right now, if there's a playoff, I don't like his chances. And it would be 4 balls in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And he went 0 for.
Well, this is unbelievable.
I've been around this sport since 1986. Never seen anything like that right there. Never in 30 years.
16 straight off the grid.
Never. I've never seen the second guy in match play have a chance like that and do that.
So they'll each get 4, and they'll put 90 seconds on the clock.
And Justin Young just went from basically flat line to being alive.
Playoff for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
That's a huge mistake by Tommy Hogue to not get 1 out there.
30 seconds. Longest ball obviously advances.
We have seen some fascinating things tonight, but I don't think anything more interesting than that right there. And that point that you made, Art, about bringing up a club like a 45-inch club to just get it in the fairway, that is something that these players should well be aware of. As we take a look at this, look at how high the shoulder line is. Look at the angle that is. That's because of that grip. Now, you can see with a shut face and as high as that is, he's going to really load into that right side. But that face is so shut. Well, look at where the face is pointing. It's pointing straight up into the air there. And now that means he's got to work really underneath it. You can see him drop underneath. Lower body is not working well and can't believe it.
Tommy Hogue misses all 8. I mean, Justin Young, who missed all 8 of his. You talk about a reprieve.
All right, everybody,
So
let's hear it for
now,
this is
he just felt like he just win the lottery, okay? And
If he gets just the first ball in,
it could win. Anything could go in.
We might be here a while.
I see 4 pyramids of those Volvics down there. They might want to change from pink to yellow. Maybe those are the in balls. But yeah, right there, that's 17 right there. 17 strikes. Little slow through impact there.
Yeah, you can see how he's trying to catch up to it with the hands.
Watch this left leg break down through impact. It should get straight, almost hyperextend and have a post to hit against. And I see that left knee buckle right before the strike.
Again, Young missed all 8.
Oh yeah, he straightened it up actually right there. It was really good. He finally.
There we go.
All right, he's got one on the grid. That could be a winner. In around 342.
Now he's gonna get after it.
All right. He's working at 342.
All right, so 342.
342, 4 balls, 4 balls.
Maybe Tommy Hogue just needs a number to shoot at, and then he'll hit one straight. So we'll see.
And they both went 0 for 8.
Let's not do that again.
Here's a little look at this motion. You can see that width go back, and what Art was talking about was paying attention to this lead leg. As this lead leg comes through, it's going to try to straighten up. It does right there. As he braced it up, he was able to hit that shot, just a little soft draw.
Remember, it is match play. 342. Not even close to any of the winning drives tonight, but it doesn't matter if Tommy Hogue doesn't get any on the grid.
Right.
So Hogue, who after Young went 0 for 8, could not get a single ball on the grid to advance.
So there's a long driver that will require, fundamentals to hit it good, and then there's those that just basically swing hard in case they hit it, and they don't have the fundamentals really to deliver the golf swing, like a Justin Moose or somebody like that who's played a U.S. Open qualifier, for goodness sake. So here, there's no fundamentals here. It's just take it back and hope you time your jump.
And then well off the grid.
Just gonna calm himself down here. Plenty of time, obviously. 4 balls, minute and a half. That angle of approach looks like it's really steep, which for his setup and what he's doing, it should not be that way. There you go.
That's right.
Justin Young was 0 for 10. Tommy's 0 for 10. Justin delivered. Let's see what happens. There it is. You get 11 shots. You catch one, 209. It should be, I would think.
All right, everybody.
Hogue off the grid. This is it. Tommy Hogue needs to beat 342. He's the #1 seed in this bracket. Has not gotten one in play yet.
And he cannot believe it.
He goes 0 for 12. And in this match, 1 of 24 balls actually hit the grid, but the 342 is good enough for Justin Young. All right, Justin's advance. Jerry, take it away.
Thanks, Bob. Justin, do you feel like you just won the lottery right there?
Definitely. Tommy's a good competitor, and I figured he'd get one in, send me packing. But thank the Lord that I had the Lord on my side, and he dragged me through another round. But, 1 in the grid out of 10 balls is not going to be acceptable come final 8.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully it's better.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, we've got one more match in this round of 16. Ryan Steenberg, Jason Eslinger. We're set for our final match in this round of 16.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our last match of the night up. The #7 seed from Rochester, New York, Ryan Steenberg.
Come on. Another guy with uncharted territories. making his first time under the lights. And again, if this was a powerlifting contest, I'd like his chances. Look at the size of those guns.
And his opponent, the number 16, the 2015 semifinalist from Deerfield, Kansas, Jason Eslinger.
He's won a tour event here at WinStar. Last year he was 4th. Michael, you're going to have a party with this move right here. I love the little step through.
I saw this thing last year, and
he hit it good.
Yeah, he did.
Ryan has the honor.
So Ryan Steenberg will be first up.
He talks about in his swing, you know, he understands the biomechanics of the motion. He knows he needs to go from the ground up. He tends to get a little bit too aggressive with the upper body, and when he does, he starts to hit some very errant shots.
Spends a lot of his time now, guys, as a strength and conditioning coach with some guys who are hoping to play the PGA Tour, Gavin Hall, Bo Hossler, and others. Pretty good idol to have for that.
He obviously knows what he's doing. Yeah. You don't get that big without having an understanding of how to do it.
That one was hit.
Art, as a guy that won this twice, when the match in front of you kind of unfolds the way it did, right? Did that get in your head a little bit? See, you know, 24 balls on the one makes the grid.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be wondering what's going on up there. But I think you have to just focus. Eslinger had the honor, and he chose to let Steenberg go first. So there's a nice shot right there, right down the middle.
348, the number.
For a guy this big, he's actually got a pretty good motion. Club stops almost parallel to the ground. Sequences out nicely. Does it stay in? It does.
349. Every inch matters.
Remember, it's rounded back. So even though that was right near 350, he gets credit for 349 because he didn't get to the 350.
Well, they'll take the tape out if they have to. Again, they're going to call the approximate there at 342, but they will, if they measure, they'll measure from the 350 line back, and they'll give you the feet and the inches as well.
He would get 350 if it comes down to a measure.
He would get 349 maybe in 30 inches.
That ball is in the air like a Ray Guy punt.
Yep. The carry's probably about 10 seconds, 9.5
yeah.
10 seconds.
When Tim was on the show, it was just about a little over 10 seconds.
Oh!
Those are good numbers there, 41 to 11.
Ball just went backwards.
355.
354.
Steenberg has 354 on the board.
Oh! Go, baby!
Good numbers, good apex.
Yeah,
he may get some roll here.
He did, you're right, he flagged it out. There's nice to see a golf ball release.
That's down that left-hand side is where he has the best chance to release.
And he flattened it out very nice, like Michael just said. There's a great drive at 374.
Good job, Jason to the tee.
So his final ball for Ryan Steenberg was his best, 374.
And 211 ball speed. Take a little peek at this golf swing, and again, what I love about this setup position is fantastic. But watch when he gets to the top of the swing. Let's see if we can just go slowly up to the top and stop it up there, because this is really where that's an excellent position. Look at how the lower body is coiled now and ready to go. Club is going to be in a good spot now. He's going to use the ground. And as he said, he needs to use the lower body a little bit more efficiently, and he did. Look at that extension and high hands. Watch how high the hands get through the hit. Lower body starts moving underneath it with the shoulder line, and look at how high the hands are. Wonderful.
Oh! Go, baby!
Guy's gonna rip his shirt.
Come on! Get out there!
Ryan all fired up after that final ball goes 374.
All right, the green is clear. Play away, please.
Our last competitor of the night, Jason Eslinger, knows he has to beat 374.
You're going to see a guy stay in his routine and be the most calm out of anybody during his setup and just take his time. That's one thing I like about Jason. He's not going to tee it up very fast. He's just going to do his deal, take it right down to 0 on the clock, get in his routine, get set up again. This is a new format. We used to hit 6 balls for 2:45. Now you're 8 balls for 3 minutes. So you definitely got to pick up the pace.
Because of what he does and the uniqueness of this step into it move, his positioning with his feet as he prepares for it is really, really important.
Kind of matches what he's doing, and also the head is set probably about a foot behind the ball. If you check this out right here, watch the head go back to the golf club. There goes the feet.
Yep,
and there's
see right there,
probably 15 inches behind there.
And now he's going to go even a little bit more. Boom!
He started doing this at the WinStar shootout that we had here last year, and he did it on the range for practice, kind of just to see what would happen. And he started hitting it good, and he used it, won that event, and then took it into the World Championship last year.
It's interesting how he does it too, because he starts out with what would be a narrow stance, even though he's preparing for the step. But when he goes in, he actually brings his trail foot into his lead foot. So watch here. He's going to bring this lead foot back. Now pay attention to the trail foot, his right foot. Watch, it's going to move forward right there.
But that seems to be adding a lot of margin of error, though, right? If you move that trail foot too much.
Well, the key for him is, and again, look at his club head speed is 137, and that's obviously faster than what he was doing if he kept the feet in the same spot. And all these other guys are, in the 140s. So he's doing this to just max out his club head speed as best he can to get that ball speed up there.
You got to find 21 more yards.
Yeah, that shot Steenberg hit again. Michael called it on the apex. It was 124, it was flat. Jason can't fly it over 370. He's got to flatten out the shot right here.
So how do you do that?
You really don't start that far behind the golf ball. It's kind of hard to do it right there. He had 103, but it's got to be a hook. It's the only way. So he's got to somehow hit a trap draw, Michael, which is a shot that is lower and kind of hit earlier and starts down the right side and rolls out.
And probably different than what he's used to doing, too, with that motion. Because he's already starting so far behind it.
Didn't get it.
All right, let's give these competitors a round of applause.
Eslinger comes up short. Ryan Steenberg on his last ball hit it 374 to advance to quarterfinals.
There you go. How are you?
And he needed that last ball because his previous best was 354.
So watch how the footwork works now. He's going to pick up this. See how that trail foot moves in, and then he steps in. Now his ball position is actually a little bit back on that one. And very, very important for that type motion to be consistent where you're placing these feet. You can see the trail foot move in. Now he steps in, plants, goes, and then jumps and holds back. That's just a baseball move, and we've seen a lot of baseball players in this competition.
Ryan Steenberg advances. He's with Jerry.
And a drive of 374, the last ball. We see it over and over in these competitions. You competitors bring out your best when you need it most. Is that the mentality it takes to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, these are the best hitters in the world. So you got to hit your ball at the right time. Jason's an unbelievable competitor, and you trust your training. You trust all the equipment that you use, Twitch trainer and so forth. And I mean, that's how we do it.
You say they are the best hitters in the world. Indeed, they are. But 2 of the top seeds were knocked out tonight. Do you think this is wide open tomorrow here, your first time under the lights, to maybe grab that world championship?
No. I mean, we're all at that level. It's just who hits the best ball at the right time. And we're such a tight-knit community. We're a brotherhood. So you're always on the tee box with your best friend, which is what I love about this so much.
All right, we look forward to watching it tomorrow. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No, Ryan Steenberg needed that last ball because his previous best was 354. He knocks it out there, 374 to advance. He'll square off against Justin Young in one of the quarterfinal matches. And take a look at that winning swing for Ryan Steenberg. He liked it right away. This club has speed and ball speed. Well, we're down to our final 8. One will walk away with that belt, the World Long Drive Champion belt for 2016. Quarterfinals are set. Only one past champion has survived. That's Joe Miller. Justin James with the long drive of the night of 381 yards. Art, what was your takeaway from this evening?
Well, I mean, every bracket's busted, but the top 4 guys that won their matches, they look really good. Joe Miller beating Glenn Wilson. That was the match of the night right there. Very exciting. 2 great shots there. So it should be an exciting final tomorrow night.
Michael, what surprised you?
Pretty much the entire night. I mean, the fact that Tim Burke is not in here, that was surprising. And then to me, Glenn Wilson Jr., 225 miles an hour of ball speed, and that's not good enough. I mean, hello?
Yeah, and that sets up for an exciting quarterfinal, semifinal, and finals tomorrow night here on Golf Channel. Well, there's a lot still to come. You don't want to miss it. It's been a fun time here in Oklahoma at the WinStar World Casino and Resort. We'll have the quarters, semis, and finals and a championship belt coming your way tomorrow evening. Art Eslinger, Michael Breed, Jerry Folks, and our entire crew. Bob Papa saying so long from Thackerville, Oklahoma. The 41st edition of the World Long Drive Championship.